It's about 4 in the morning right now, and we're saying bye to Messiah. We're about to head off to Cambodia, and he was nice enough to see us off, and we're starting our voyage.
Long, very frustrating, very hot, very bouncy and uncomfortable ride, but we are here. Alright, so we're here Wednesday morning. This is our first morning of the trip to Cambodia. We're inside the hotel lobby. We just ate some breakfast, took showers in the morning, feeling really good, ready to get out into the villages and do some cool stuff. We're going to go take a look at Cambodia, so if you want to follow me out there, I'll show you some cool stuff. So there you have it, streets of Cambodia. The thoughtfuel team is on our 3rd episode, For the Nations, talking about a missionary call that we believe everyone should answer. And this is what we do.
So we're here still at the village, and right now, on one side of me in the sanctuary, a leadership class is going on. And in the other section, they're teaching English, and somewhere I believe in the village, maybe upstairs, they're doing a music class as well. So we're staying quite busy and helping the community. Earlier today, we played with the kids, taught them some Bible lessons, and took a tour of the city. So it's been quite a busy, tiring, but fun and fulfilling day.
So we're here on day 2 with Pastor Jesse McCaul, the senior pastor of New Life Fellowship here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And we're going to ask him a couple questions about his ministry and how he got involved.
So Pastor Jesse, how'd you get involved in missions in the first place?
Actually, back in '94, we heard about another missionary who had moved here to Cambodia. Really felt God speaking to come and kind of seize this opportunity that we had here in Cambodia. So in '95, as a 17-year-old American kid, my parents picked up the family, moved over here. My desire was just to be used.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that was way back in the '90s. '95 is when we moved here, and as my heart just began to cry to the Lord and say, God, use me. One thing has led to another, and here I am today. And I've been able to fit into the culture very well. To be honest, I forget I'm American until I look in the mirror sometimes. And hopefully I think the Cambodians would see me a lot in that way. As I've learned their language, as I've learned their culture. I'm married to a Cambodian now. Been here 15 years, so I don't have a whole lot of cultural boo-boos anymore, you know. I think one thing that really just God helped me with, but I think is also essential for anybody moving to a foreign country like this, is to come with no preconceived expectations, to come not wanting to import your culture, American culture, whatever that may be, to Cambodia or wherever you're moving. Come as a student, come to learn about the culture before passing judgment on areas of the culture. I think just through God's grace, He helped me to have that attitude that this is Cambodia, this isn't America.
Yeah.
There's no McDonald's, there's no Starbucks, because it's Cambodia.
Yeah.
And instead of coming with an attitude of, well, why aren't there McDonald's on every corner? Why aren't things done the way we do them in America?
Yeah.
Because it's not America, it's Cambodia. For a large part of the time, at least, I was able to maintain that attitude. And to be honest, I think if you don't have that attitude, you can end up getting burnt out on the quote-unquote mission field. There's a lot of needs in Cambodia. As you guys are going around the country, both in the city, outside the city, slums, villages, you'll see a lot of needs. If you talk about the physical, natural need, I would put the top priority on education, training. Now, education could mean schools, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges. It could also just mean other types of education, whether it's educating in health and hygiene, or whether it's educating the farmers in proper or successful agricultural techniques. I think the biggest need is education, is educating people in all the essential areas of life. What makes a Cambodian and a Taiwanese or a Japanese or an American or an Australian, what makes a Cambodian different from these other nationalities? What makes a Cambodian person different from someone that are living in the quote-unquote developed world? I think one of the big differences is opportunities, to be honest. I don't think Cambodians are dumber than any other nationality. I don't think Cambodians have less capacity than the countries that are making supercomputers or microchips or whatever. But just they haven't had the opportunities. And I think the biggest opportunity is education. The best place to be is to be doing the work that God has called us to do, to be doing the work that God created us and put us on this earth to do.
Yeah.
And as you begin to move into that call of God for your life, whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's also very fulfilling to see just the dramatic transformation that we've seen here in 15 years. It's quite incredible. Sometimes you don't get to see the visible fruit, maybe as much as we would hear in some situations. It's really the groundbreaking season, and the fruit season comes later. But here, it's harvest time.
Yeah.
And so we get to see the actual visible results on a continual basis. And so it's very rewarding to just be part of that and to see that. God's created us all differently, and we all have different callings and different giftings.
Yes.
And some people, they are very aware of what their giftings and their callings are, and they need to step out in faith and just do it. Other people, sometimes we're not as aware. When people are afraid to use their giftings and they're, I'm not sure what I'm gifted with, I'm not the most talented person, I'm not clear what this calling is, well, you can at least attach yourself to someone that is having a fruitful ministry and serve alongside them, putting your money in the bank.
Yeah.
You can at least do that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So what about for the people at home who have decided and realize that they are called to missions, but they're kind of oblivious as to where to start? What would you recommend on how to get involved in missions?
Well, you need to be plugged into a local church. And so make sure that you are part of a local church. And if your local church is involved in missions in any way, then that would be the first door to knock on. Talk to some of the leadership of your church and say, what can I do with regards to our church's local missions? Begin talking about it, begin praying about it, even if it's 1 year down the road, 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road. Start talking about it, start praying about it, start seeking wisdom. Don't want to go to the mission field in order to escape the problems back home, because your problems will follow you. That's not a good reason to come to the mission field. You need to be ready to get onto the front lines and to really make a difference. So make sure that you're living a life of a disciple, you're plugged into a local church. And if you're not walking that life of a disciple, get into a church where you can be discipled and you can grow as a disciple. And then as you begin to grow, then the time will come for you to go out and to be a minister on the mission field.
Go to the next one.
It's very challenging for us, and we hope it's very challenging for you, seeing how simple it is to get involved in missions, but also how crucial it is and what kind of an impact just one person can make with a little bit of love, a little bit of resource, or a little bit of time. So get involved in missions, pray about it, and get involved wherever you can.
We really want to challenge you to be for the nations. Ask God, how can you help? How can you be a part of the missionary work in Cambodia and across the globe? And how can you fulfill your life mission